Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your f***ing cloud, it be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to episode 332 on none other than probably one of the best days of America. That is Happy 420. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. With me today, I got my boy Logan Landers. Logan, say what's up to the people.
What's going on, everyone? Our great show. Looking forward to it. And we got our boy Chris coming along for some Thursday night action.
As well as he initiated it, we got Chris Gonzo Gonzalez. Say what's up to the people, Chris.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope everybody has a good evening. Got some baseball on right now. My Reds gave up 4 runs in the first inning already, so I might probably find something else to watch here pretty soon. But but other than that, it's been a good thing.
Hey, listen, I feel you. I feel you, man. Listen, we took out Toronto yesterday. We did quite well. And Frankie is doing damage on the Red. Or actually, they beat the Angels today, so he did me a solid. So now I'm tied for second in my division. Still working on catching up with these really, really tough Rangers. And, of course, Logan is down there in first place in Atlanta. And we get to play him on Friday. And what a day that's going to be. Logan, I want you to understand, right now you're my brother, but come tomorrow, as I said in Talladega Nights, it'll be war.
Hey. I was about to say, we're getting a rematch, Jay, of the World Series from a couple of years ago. It's going to be good, man. It's going to be good.
Real quick.
Yes,
my picks yesterday were 7-1.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys aren't watching Easy Money, you're missing out because Gonzo's throwing down some seriously good picks, and I know he's making you some good money over there on that site.
That puts me at 217 and 180 on the year.
I will tell you, Logan, it was rough yesterday when me and Chris were doing the late night show, and Chris says to me, Jay, I just need 9. And when we got off the show, they were at 7. And when it ended, it was exactly at 9. And I'm calling Gonzo, and I'm like, bro, you're not going to believe this. You hit right at 9. I mean, the gods were in your favor.
I was about to say, he had all the luck going for him the other night.
Only if I'd put some money on it.
Hey, well, and that really is kind of the big thing, Chris. You got to put money on it, man. You can't win what you don't put in the middle.
Oh, I know that.
Especially when you got a good showing like you're putting up.
I know that, but I ain't had the money to do it to bet, so I just give the picks out for the people to make some money. And then when I start getting some money, then I'll start putting some money on them.
And see, that's what we're doing.
Hey, no, I feel you, man. I'm the same way. Real quick, you guys can catch us at all the social media platforms. You can see all the handle names that we use at all the platforms. Give us a look-see. They do a really good job of keeping us up to date with all the current information. And yes, Frankie, can I please get through the intro? Damn, son. You're like a little kid over there. I want my apology. So the other day, I announced that Herman, and I'm pretty sure I pronounced that right because Frankie is really persistent on the way I pronounce his players' names. Herman was not ejected, as I initially had said, for the rosin incident. In fact, he was allowed to keep playing. But I do want to extend my apology for saying that he was injected. And in fact, he was not ejected. However, in a comma, I'm not going to apologize because you're still cheating. So let it be known. Yes, I had the factual data wrong, but no, they still cheated. And we move on. And we move on. Well, all right, folks. Draymond Green. I know we talked about this earlier, but as you know, he was suspended for pretty pronouncedly kicking down forcibly onto Sabonis's rib cage, which ultimately caused him to have to go to the hospital and get x-rays. Now, obviously, he got the 1-game suspension. As Joe Dumars, the president of handing down those types of things, said that it was because of his past transgressions. Let me ask you this. And again, number one, was 1 game enough? And number two, I believe tonight is the night he serves the suspension against the Kings. What impact do you think is going to happen with that? Because correct me if I'm wrong, they are going to be in Golden State tonight. And we all know, and it's been pointed out several times, that Golden State is terrible on the road, but great at home. Number one, was the extension long enough? And number two, do you still think that Golden State will pull off the win, or will this affect it? And do you think Sacramento will pull off the win tonight? Gonzo?
First of all, I feel like the suspension was too long. I don't think he should have got suspended. I think getting the ejection and missing the rest of that game was enough. If you were going to suspend him, I think you should have suspended both players, because what Draymond done was wrong, but it was also a reaction from Sabonis grabbing his leg to keep him from trying to go down the court. So if you're going to suspend one, I think both should have got suspended. But I don't think either one of them should have got suspended. I think giving the technical to Sabonis, ejecting Draymond, and then you just play on, because now that can affect this series, and it can also kind of put a lull in what Sacramento is doing. They go on and win this series, and now everybody's just going to talk about, well, Draymond was suspended for game 3, and this, I mean, people are going to make excuses why Sacramento won instead of Sacramento just being the better team or playing better at this time and being the better team. But as far as the night, I have the Warriors winning. I do think there'll be an impact with Draymond being gone, especially on the defensive end. Kayvon Looney can't get in foul trouble. If he gets in foul trouble, the Warriors could be in big trouble, because they just don't have enough big bodies to send out there, to handle Sabonis. But I like that they're at home. The Warriors are 33-8, 33-8 on the season at home. They've been terrible on the road, but they're tough. They're tough to beat there at home. I think Steph Curry has a big night, and I think Klay Thompson's going to have a pretty big night as well. I think the Warriors get a win tonight.
And I hear you, brother. And I kind of do think myself that the Warriors, I'm gonna give my take real quick. I think the Warriors do win as well tonight. They're at home. Look, these guys have been through this before. These are experienced vets. We're not talking about, some rookies out there, right? So I do think they right the ship. I do think they get back on track. In terms of suspension, like I said earlier, I agree with everything you said. And I really believe, and I think Joe Dumars said it eloquently, I think had Draymond not had the history that Draymond has, I think he does, just get the normal ejection and we call it good. And I don't think we do see the 1-game suspension. But I think because of the history, I think you have to give him the suspension of 1 game, if not even 2, because how else is he going to learn if we don't impose on him to learn? So, again, I think, if this was an isolated thing, I think he walks away from it, gets the ejection, we call it good. But I think it's his history, that really is what did him in. At least that's what Joe Dumars is saying when he made the decision. But
yeah, I just don't think that the history should have mattered, because it was it was a reaction. It wasn't just him like going after somebody. The guy grabbed his leg and then he done something. So to me, you shouldn't have went by like prior stuff because each situation can be different. So I don't like they brought the history into it. But hey, it is what it is, and we'll see what happens tonight. Neither one of these teams is my favorite team, so it don't affect me personally. But I just like to see both teams at the fullest strength they could be when you're in the playoffs.
And I think Josh Bailey, his comment is interesting. He says, as a Golden State Warriors fan, I know the Kings are legit. Draymond makes it easier by acting like a clown. And I think that's what it is. I think when you have that much negativity and that much history there, it just, it's almost like you have to kind of do it. I get what you're saying too, Gonzo. I don't want to like be argumentative about that because I understand your viewpoint as well. I just think Draymond kind of brings it upon himself sometimes.
He does sometimes. Draymond don't help himself. That's for damn sure. He don't help himself at all.
Frankie goes on to say, Yankees, yes, good game today, Frankie. Good game, man. We needed that. We did it for – you know what? And I'm glad that you did it for me. And hopefully you can understand how we did it for you with Toronto yesterday. So we're kind of watching each other's back. And, Frankie, I do expect your full support Friday when Houston plays Atlanta. You, Gonzo, you as well. I don't want to hear any Atlanta Braves crap because we're not giving Logan that satisfaction. Logan, you've been kind of quiet down there, man. What's your thoughts on all of this? Again, the two questions. Number one,
I've been racking my brain back and forth, Jay, because I can understand why he is suspended just because of what he did the other night. But also, I'm kind of iffy to the part of putting history into it because I don't recall – a previous, whenever this has happened with any other player in recent memory, it might have happened, but I can't think of it off the top of my head, of them saying, all right, you're going to be suspended for something that you've done in this game, but also what you've done previously. So that, I can understand why he's suspended, but I don't really fully grasp because of his previous actions. I get why they said it, but I'm still not maybe 100% in favor of that. As for the game tonight, I don't see them going down 3-0. I think they have too good of a roster, too good of a coach to go down that bad. If they do, it's going to be rough. Obviously, the team struggled this year. They weren't as dominant, obviously, as they were last year when they won the title. But, I think with Draymond being out, that kind of gives more motivation to, obviously, your two guys with Steph and Clay, but also Jordan Poole, who's been not the sharpest this postseason. So that means he's got to step it up. That means Steph and Clay got to step up even more. And like Chris said, too, Looney, he has to do his thing on the board there and not get in foul trouble. And so like I said, I think Golden State gets a win tonight. I don't see them going down 3-0. If they do, I think you can pretty much write it on the wall. That it's bound to happen. They would get eliminated, but I think they'll take one tonight and keep it competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I want to reiterate, it's like anything else in life. History always matters. And I'm going to tell you why. If I go, like I was telling Gonzo the other day, if I go get in trouble today and I get a misdemeanor, and then I go get in trouble for the same thing again tomorrow, they're gonna look at my misdemeanor and they're gonna look at all the things before it. That's just the way the world goes. And I think Josh Bailey says history plays a factor in everything, especially your job. He said Joshua Bailey goes on to say it's a track record. You can't act a fool when your boss is in the building, and that's a damn fact. Number two, who's one game back from the Yankees? The Orioles. Interesting. He said Poole definitely has to have a great game. I agree. I think, without the exception with Draymond being there, now Looney is going to be a crucial factor, and so will Poole, because they're going to have to hold down the paint. And that's going to be a tough job when you got Sabonis down there in the low post. So, again, I do think, to what my colleagues are saying, that Golden State should pull this out because, again, these are proven veterans. They got a ring for a reason. They know how to win. This is not Steve Kerr's first rodeo. So I do expect them to pull it out. He said, breaking news, Texans might not draft a quarterback. That's
stupid not to.
We'll see how that pans out. There's a lot going on there. Frankie goes on to say it would be crazy history because Steph Curry lost a 3-1 lead to Cleveland and then ended up probably this year getting swept if they lose tonight. And then to round it out, before we go on the next topic, Josh Bailey says, don't be surprised if Curry helps out with the rebounds. That would be interesting. But speaking of people being in trouble, again, I just love it. Bradley Beal was sued by a fan. The fan was basically it wasn't even a fan. That's what's kind of funny about this. Kyle Briffa is suing Bradley Beal and the Wizards organization for battery and assault. But and he's seeking $50,000 in damages, which is for NBA standards an extremely low number. So it could have been too bad. Briffa says he was confronted by Beal on his way to the locker room, but it was Briffa's friend that called out Beal, saying that he made him lose $1,300. I'm not going to say the whole word because I'm trying not to curse. So you can imagine what F refers to. And then Bill hits Briffa. How crazy is that? You hit a guy, but he wasn't even the guy that was talking to you. The other dude was. How crazy is this? Logan, we're going to go bottom up this time. Logan, what's your thoughts on Bill?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this whenever it first broke, and we were saying, I think that, once this guy takes him to court, and well, he has.
We did talk about this. I don't know why I left it in there, but still, to me, it just ties in. I think it ties in with the whole Draymond thing.
Well, we talked about
suspension, not suspension.
No, I mean, like I said, we talked about this when it first happened. Whenever it did, and like I said, now he's getting sued for $50K, which for Beal, that's just pocket change. But we'll see which way it goes. Like I said, we're not obviously legal experts, but it's gonna be interesting because, like you said, he hit the wrong guy. But like I said, we'll see how the higher ups deal with it. And like Anthony said, $50K is a fine. That's low money. Yes, it is for them. I wish it was for us.
And real quick, it's crazy to me because we were just talking about. So in my mind, in Gonzo, I think you'll agree with this. It's crazy that Draymond gets a game suspension for pushing his foot down on somebody, but Bill don't get crap other than a $50,000 in damages for punching a guy. So I guess if you're a fan, it don't matter, but it's a world we live in.
Well,
it's a weirdly weird world.
Yeah, because to me, it would be worse for a player to hit a fan than it is for a player to hit another player.
It's just crazy to me.
I mean?
Yeah, no, you're right. It is. In my mind, you're right. It is. It's worse.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't get some kind of suspension out of it. Maybe they were waiting to see what comes out of the legal stuff, and then they're going to do something. But I don't know. I mean, and we, like Logan said, we talked about it before, and we all said if you hit the wrong guy, it's going to cost you because they're going to take you to court and try to get some money out of you. I mean,
oh hell yeah. I got to be honest with you. I'm really surprised
they do that stuff to try to bait these guys into a reaction like that so they can try to get paid. You know what I mean? So
I'm gonna tell you right now.
If I'm ignore it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, guys. I apologize.
I'm just saying you just got to ignore it because you got people that's what they're there trying to do is to get a reaction out of you so they can try to sue you and get some money. So you just got to ignore it. Go to the locker room and do your stuff. I don't know. You just got to ignore the fans sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you, Joshua Bailey. It is Green's history, and I think it's a large part of that. Hell, even like I said, Joe Dumars came out and said that's exactly what it was. So, I mean, that's exactly what they're basing it off of. Joshua Bailey, we're talking about where Bradley Beal hit Kyle Briffa, the fan that was in the audience, but it was Briffa's friend that called out Bradley Beal, saying he cost him a $1,300 bet. And so I guess Beal thought it was Briffa that said it. So he winds up clocking Briffa. I got to be honest with you guys. If I'm Briffa's friend and Bradley Beal hits me and it's all on video, we going straight to court. And I promise you, I'm walking out with damn near close to 7 figures. I'm going to get as much as I possibly can. It ain't going to be no $50K. I promise you. What a time to be alive. Moving on. Trey Lance with the 49ers. Guys, people are calling. People are calling General Manager John Lynch's office and looking to see, hey, you willing to trade him? Because you signed Dalton Purdy's going to start. It's already been solidified. Purdy's going to be the starter. They'd signed Dalton as a backup for assistance. So now you got Trey Lance, and people are calling to see if he's available. What do you think? Does Trey Lance? Do you think that somebody's going to bite on it, or do you think John's going to let him walk? What do you think, Gonzo?
It's going to be interesting. I could see the 49ers if they get offered something good, a decent offer doing it. But then also you're talking about a team that literally lost in the playoffs last year because they ran out of quarterbacks. So
exactly. But are they going to carry 3 quarterbacks again like they did last year?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So do you trust going down to 2, or do you want? I mean, that's what basically might have cost him a chance at a Super Bowl, is basically running out of quarterbacks. Didn't have nobody could throw the ball.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You still have Lance, I think, for another year, not on a very expensive deal because he's still on his rookie deal. So I don't know. I think they might keep him one more year before they and maybe look to trade him after this season. See how Purdy looks for a full season instead of just the 7 or 8 game stretch. So I kind of think they hold on to him this year, and that that they might trade him next year.
Oh yeah, I'm right there with you. As a matter of fact, Logan, Trey Lance is younger than Levis, and he's younger than Hooker. So I mean, this dude's young. If you're the 49ers, like to Chris is saying, do you really want to trade him, especially what you went through last season where it cost you the Super Bowl because you didn't have a quarterback available?
Yeah, I'm kind of in Chris's favor here. I think that you keep him for now. I mean, unless your trade package is just something insane, I still think you keep him. Josh Brett, good point. Says the project is not ready to start. Your father chimed in there, Chris, saying he would keep him for now. I think what we're going along with here. And when you think about it, though, I mean, obviously Trey Lance, he didn't look sharp whenever he did play last year, and then, as we know, the injury put him out of action for the whole season. Brock Purdy stepped in; no one knew who he was, and he got team on his back and took him for a pretty good ride. But I would say keep him for this offseason, for this upcoming season as well. But probably sit him behind Brock Purdy if Purdy struggles, which I mean we have seen before that. Guys who have a good playoff run or even a good season struggle the next year, maybe just because it was a one-season wonder or whatnot. You could throw Trey Lance in there, see how he does, and go from there. But I would definitely kind of err on the side of keeping him because you never know. I mean, no one thought that they would lose 3 quarterbacks and even 4. With Josh Jackson playing 10 snaps or whatever it was, and then him getting hurt. So I mean that's something we're not going to see for who knows how long. But yeah, no, I would keep him here. Anthony said you trade for a running quarterback with a broke leg.
And the thing about it is too, honestly though, if you think about it, if I'm Trey Lance, how am I supposed to get better? How am I supposed to not be a project if I don't see the field, if I don't get playing time? Yeah. So if I'm Trey Lance or if I'm the 49ers, I think you're right. I think you do keep him because he's on a cheap deal. But I will tell you, I think after that, I think at some point Trey Lance is going to want to leave there and go to a team where he can actually get out from underneath the depth chart and start applying for that starting role because he's not ever going to get better just riding the pine as the second or third or fourth option. You know what I mean? He's just going to get really good at carrying a clipboard. What a time to be alive. Real quick. So Ohtani hits. I love this because, again, I love history, Logan. I do. I love history. And this is such a beautiful thing. Shohei Ohtani hit his home run on the anniversary of Babe Ruth hitting his first home run in New York. Now, obviously, Ohtani did it in the new stadium. And obviously, Babe Ruth did it at the old stadium in the Bronx across from 161st Street. So, I mean, but still, isn't it incredible that 2 guys that are two-way phenomenons hit their home run or hit his home run on the anniversary of the first iconic two-way player? How crazy is that, Logan? I mean, that's nuts.
That's crazy, CJ. And I don't know about y'all, but it feels like for baseball, maybe just because it's been around for so long, this we hear about kind of stuff like this more often. than in football, than in basketball, than in hockey. But it's a cool stat nonetheless, that he did it on the same anniversary at obviously a different stadium, but still against the same team and stuff like that. So real cool for him. And like I said, just kind of another little small wrinkle in Ohtani's cap this year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Again, for the legends of baseball, Gonzo, I mean, how incredible is that to have, like you said, the new face of baseball hitting his home run in New York on the anniversary of the old legend and the old face of baseball?
No, it's a pretty cool stat. And I kind of agree with Logan. Like he said, you hear about it a little bit more in baseball than you do other sports. But I agree. I think it's just because baseball's been around so damn long.
Yeah.
But it's always cool when you find out little cool stats like that that guy's done the same thing at the same park, same date and stuff. It's always cool to look back in history and acknowledge him guys some. So I thought it was a pretty cool moment.
For those of you that didn't know the exact date of it, so Babe Ruth hit his first home run in New York on April 18th, 1923, and Ohtani hit his home run on the anniversary of that, which was April 18th, 2023. What a time to be alive, man. I mean, think about it, guys. We're alive. We're witnessing this. I mean, when grandkids of ours, down the line, I mean, they're going to be talking about this. It's always a great thing to witness history is always an amazing thing. Quick, last thing I want to get into before we get into talking NBA and hockey and stuff is obviously Scherzer was ejected for a sticky substance found on his glove. And I know we talked about this after the show, but Logan, I wanted you to kind of be a part of this too. I know it's not that I'm something you don't know, but obviously in the third inning, Kuzi, the umpire, goes out there and asks Scherzer to change out his glove. And so Scherzer changed out his glove in the third inning. Well, come the fourth inning, Kuzi again goes over, to do his hand and glove search, finds a sticky residue in the glove, and then ejects Scherzer, to which Scherzer then is screaming, "It's rosin, it's rosin," which we all know rosin and sweat could probably make a paste-like substance. Either way, it was enough to get him ejected. The manager comes out at Buckhalter. Of course, nothing can be done about it. Scherzer still winds up getting ejected. The whole time he's just, obviously not happy about it, screaming, it's rosin, so forth. And again, if you know anything about the history of Kuzi, as I stated earlier, there was an issue with Herman. Although he was not ejected, it was Kuzi that was a part of that, as well as the other two incidents of a sticky substance that led to ejections. Kuzi was a part of those. Do you think, in y'all's opinion, that this could just be a witch hunt by Kuzi, since he seems to be the only one doing the damn ejecting? Gonzo, we'll start there, and Logan, you wrap it up. What do you think, Gonzo? Is it a witch hunt?
Man, I don't know if I'd call it a witch hunt, but something doesn't sound right, because like we talked about a little bit last night, you have how many umpires in Major League Baseball in all these games, and every only time anybody's been ejected has been with this one umpire. so
I'm just saying.
He has to be looking. He has to be looking for something that other umpires aren't looking for. But in the Scherzer case, I think it's going to be interesting, because I think he's going to appeal this 10-game suspension. And because he said in the interview right after the game that there was an MLB official with him the whole time, watched him wash his hands and everything. And so, if you have an MLB official right there, and like he said, he'd have to be the dumbest human on planet Earth to try to use a glove with something on it that shouldn't be on it. When you have an MLB official watching you, they're going to check you when you come out. So it don't make it's just going to be interesting to see if this 10-game suspension gets upheld or not, because I do think he's going to appeal it. I don't know if it'll do him any good, but I'm
definitely appealing it. Yeah.
If the MLB officials with you the whole time and you didn't do nothing wrong, yeah, I'd appeal it.
Logan, all this money that Cohen has just poured into the Mets. Edwin Diaz goes down for the season. Now Scherzer's looking at a possible 10-game suspension. What a time to be alive. But what do you think about all this, man? Is it a witch hunt? What do you think?
I don't know if it's a witch hunt. I don't know if I'd put that term on it. Jay, I would kind of flip it, and I would say, is Phil Cousy, is he trying to become the Scott Foster of MLB in terms of everyone knows who he is for all the wrong reasons? Because, like Chris mentioned, throughout all of the, 20-plus games that these guys have played now across all of Major League Baseball, he is the only one to do this multiple times. I mean, I don't know, man. Unless he got some eye surgery this past off season that we don't know about. Like Chris said, he brought up a good point. I didn't even know about this. I would watch Scherzer wash his hands in between innings.
Yeah,
but then,
yeah,
like I said, it's not like Scherzer needs this stuff. The dude's a Hall of Famer. What's the point of him? Why would he want to go get even more rosin, mix it up, and then I'm not understanding this.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It really makes no sense.
I think that like you said, Scherzer is appealing this. I think he'll win this. I think MLB might need to look into this a little bit because, like I said, I mean, this isn't a good look. I mean, this is not a good look that, it seems overwhelmingly that the fans, the media, other umpires who are anonymous are saying that this probably wasn't the best call here. So might want to look into that and sit down with old Phil and just say, look, we get that we're doing this here. We've been doing this for the past 2-3 years. But you might just want to cool it a little bit. If you might see something, maybe don't just hop on it right away. And like I said, it's just not the best look overall for him. And overall, though, I do think that whenever Scherzer does get his appeal, I think he'll win it, and that will get reduced.
Yeah, and because it's crazy to me that it's just one guy. If it had been like multiple umpires, whatever. Again, and maybe, and Chris, I don't know if it was you that said that, but maybe it was because that maybe they're using their own rosin bags in the dugout rather than a rosin bag that's out there on the mound.
Yeah. Which that I could understand that in a way, but still, I mean, you can use rosin. I understand that you, like you said, Jay, it becomes kind of like it can become a paste in a way. I mean, so in that case, just tell teams if you're Major League Baseball, look, just use the rosin on the mound. Just don't, you can't use your own, which I don't know the effects of it. I don't know, obviously we're not pitchers. We don't know if what rosin we got in our dugouts, how the difference is in what we got on the mound. I'm sure there's something, obviously, if the umpire thought so. But, I mean, look, just say, hey, look, just use the rosin we got that's like MLB approved or whatever.
Yeah. They got some kind of special rosin there in the dugout.
Yeah, that's right. They got something. There ain't no telling.
All right, we're going to transition now into these NBA playoffs recaps. Before we do that, though, and I meant to do this at the beginning of the show, and I didn't, and I certainly apologize to Logan for this, but I did want to announce that Logan, our boy Logan, is growing up. That little mass communications degree is paying off. He got offered an opportunity to write for the magazine at the radio station at which he works for, and the potential to do some play-by-play football for the upcoming season. And Logan, I just want to I'm proud of you, and congratulations.
Thanks for that, man. Like I said, nothing set in stone yet. Like I said, still out there in the wings, but like I said, man, looking forward to it if it does come to fruition. Of course, I will be giving y'all updates as it gets hopefully closer and closer. We know football season's right around the corner for high school, so looking forward to it, man. But yeah, like I said, if you want to check me out in the mornings, WDUN AM 550 and FM 102.9. It's streaming, Jay. You can listen to it even in Texas now.
Hell yeah. Don't trust me. I will be, because I want to hear
we got an app. You got to wake up early for me, though, man. I'm on 5 a.m. to 9 every morning, so you got to get up a little early for me.
Yeah, man, I might have to.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't make the schedule. That's just what they got me on. But if you love me enough, Jay, you'll wake up for me.
Well, I will. And yes, I do love you enough. I do. Hey, quiet.
Even Blue enjoys it. hey, Jay, before we get
my alarm system over there.
Yeah. Before we get to the recap, I did see something on ESPN, gentlemen. Kawhi Leonard not going to be available Game 3. Hurt his knee.
Yeah,
so he is out against Phoenix tonight.
That's going to be crazy. We're going to get into that. Hold on, just for 1 minute.
Oh yeah.
I want to. The order I wrote these games down was actually. You know what? I don't even think I have Clippers on here. So why don't we go ahead and get into that? No, I did, because I did the recap from yesterday, not the feature of tonight. So actually, the Clippers are playing tonight. So let's go ahead and knock that out first. No Kawhi Leonard tonight. The series is tied at 1.
Either.
Oh, no Paul George either.
That's a give me Phoenix in this one.
I was about to say, is it too early to call? Gonzo, if you're a bet man, is that too early to call?
Oh man, I think Phoenix is going to win tonight.
Yeah.
And what I'm hearing is that Kawhi, I guess his knee is sore, and they decided to sit him out tonight because the next game is an early game on Saturday, so he wasn't going to have enough time to recover. So they're sitting him out tonight, so he'll be ready for Saturday.
Man, you know how I feel about it.
Because he wouldn't have enough recovery time.
Look,
because he wouldn't have enough recovery time between the night and Saturday.
My thing is, right, either
that becomes one of the, to me, he's starting to become one of the softest players that's played in the NBA.
Bro. And my thing about this, Chris, and Ninja, I'll let you give your pieces. I get you have a game on Saturday, right? I understand that. That's just the way the schedule worked out. But it's a playoff game, and you're already down one of your best players. So who's their best player now? They got what? Not even Reggie Jackson. They got.
Hey, is it too early to say Westbrook?
Bro, he's gonna have to have a 40-point performance if they want to win.
Too early to say Westbrook.
Man, I forgot he was even on the Clippers for half a second. But I mean, come on, man. You hate to see it because he had a great game. In game, what was it, game one when they won? He had like 30-something points. He was looking great. But
he played good both first two games.
Yeah, but my thing too, man, is either you're out for the series or you're in. I need full commitment here. I don't need missing a game. And like I said, this is, like Chris said, this is what soreness, correct? This is not a strain or this is not something got torn. This is just I'm a little sore. Which, I mean, Chris, if he's sore, put him on a minutes restriction at that point. You don't have to play him the whole 40 minutes. Get me out there for 20. Get me out there for the first. Get me out there for a little bit second, maybe third and fourth. But just don't keep him out there as long. And just ice up the next day and a half. I mean, So I give me Phoenix in this one. I think Durant, obviously, shout out Chris Paul for snapping his 14-game losing streak against Scott Foster, the ref. He snapped that the other night finally. So I think Phoenix could get this one. I don't know about comfortably, but I think they'll get this one pretty easily, probably 10+.
So the other game tonight, I guess we'll just go ahead and do tonight's game since we're 76ers Nets. Okay, look, I didn't see enough of the damn Nets. Sixers are up 2-0. I honestly don't think there's anything that the Nets are going to be able to do. I don't think Mikal Bridges or Seth Curry or anybody else that's over there that's left, the remnants. I call that the remnant squad that could honestly do a damn thing to stop Embiid, Harden, Harris, and just keep the list. Maxey and company.
Maxey.
Yeah. So I don't think there's anything they can do to stop that. So I'm all the way Sixers on tonight. Matter of fact, I'm calling a sweep on this shit.
Ooh.
But
guys,
what's up,
Logan? Logan, I'm sorry, Gonzo.
We might have another player get ejected. Claxton went up for a dunk or for a shot. Embiid fell. Claxton steps over Embiid, and as he's stepping over Embiid kicked him in his junk.
Oh,
dude!
Can't be doing that, Joel.
I just turned the game over to the game, and that was the first thing I saw.
And this game just started, by the way. It's 6-4 in the first quarter. They've been playing for 2 minutes or whatever.
Referees are reviewing it now, so yeah.
If I get kicked down below the belt, I don't want that guy in the game no more. Get him out of here, man. Come on. Joel.
Yeah,
I turned it over there. That's what was happening. He was kicking him. I said, "What the hell? This has to be a replay."
Chris, just like we said with Draymond Green the other night, we're gonna say it here with Joel Embiid. Just be smart.
Hey,
don't be stupid.
Okay, can we get some intellectual properties in this? I mean, honestly. Oh, and I just saw it
Have you seen it yet, Jay?
Oh, I'm watching it right now. I just saw the replay on that. Okay, listen, I'm sorry.
Claxton didn't touch him or do anything to provoke it. You know what I mean? It
was just unprovoked.
That's full difference.
Let me see if I can find it here.
He was getting his balance. He steps over him so he wouldn't step on him, and boom.
You're right. Listen, if he don't get ejected out of this game, then there's an issue. And it's going to be a little harder. I wonder, do you think it would be ejected? Because I guess the importance of Embiid is quote unquote to the league, and everybody loves Embiid, whatever.
See that? No,
He did.
That shouldn't matter.
Oh, that's some.
Yeah, no, you got to get him out of here after that. If I'm Claxton, if I'm the Brooklyn Nets, I will be fuming if this man's not
stay in
ejected
the
for
game.
this. Are you kidding me? So, okay, so let's go back here, Chris. When Draymond was kicking dudes below the belt, didn't he get ejected from the games? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he got ejected for. He got kicked out of that game and got ejected for the next.
So what's the difference in this? What's the reason that he gets to say? I don't get it. It makes no sense to me.
Wow. Look, I get probably where
they're saying because it wasn't excessive contact.
What do you mean?
Excessive contact? You don't have to have excessive contact. Dude, when you hit the jewels, if there's look, you can breathe on them and they hurt. What are you talking about?
It's no different than throwing a punch. If you throw a punch at a guy, and even if you miss, they're going to throw you out of the games. What's different in a kick?
Look, my thing too. If a guy is standing over you, which say what you will about that.
They gave him a flagrant 1.
Oh, all right.
A flagrant? No, that's not flagrant 2. That's a flagrant 2. Okay. That's a flagrant 2, man.
He should have been ejected.
Now, Chris, I want you to understand. I'm being very, very consistent here when I tell you I'm giving him a flagrant 2, and he's getting ejected for that. Because look,
you can't be doing that.
You can't just rear your leg back and kick him in the junk. Come on! Every self-respecting man knows how bad that hurts. Joe Dumars, I'm calling you out, Joe. If you don't
get suspended, wow.
I don't know, man. What a time to be alive. I don't know, man. Look, that's a flagrant 2. Either way, man. I'm gonna move on from this because that's crazy to me. 76ers. Anybody else there to say anything different about the Sixers or think anything different?
I had the Sixers winning by sweep.
Yeah, I do too. I think that Sixers just have a little bit of a better roster, but yeah.
Hey, hold on a minute. First of all, I'll make 2 comments real quick. I got number 1. Okay, I get what he said because honestly, if I'm Claxton, he should be wearing a cup. Cup's always number 1. Number 2, Tony. You gonna tell me if I kick you in your junk, you're not sensitive? I'm just asking the question.
Hey, if Draymond did this man would be spinning for the playoffs. Am I wrong? Bruh. Am I wrong?
What a time! What a time to be alive, man.
What's our next game?
I could kick a man in the sternum and get a game suspension, but I get a flagrant 1 if I kick him in the nuts. What a time to be alive.
Make it make sense.
Last game is Kings Warriors. Obviously, again, this is going to be, in my mind, probably the toughest game to call because of the fact it's in Golden State. Yes, they are going to be without Draymond, but at the same time, they are a home team more than they are a road team. I've already said it. I do believe the Warriors step it up tonight, and I do think they make the series 2-1 at the end of it. Gonzo, are you feeling the same?
Oh yeah, I think the Warriors win tonight. I think Clay and Steph are going to have big nights, and I'm going to say Andrew Wiggins is going to step up and have a big game.
Damian said he barely touched him. Damian, he kicked it. Look,
listen, I don't know how many times y'all been ever hit in that region. I don't care if you barely touch it or not. Even if you barely touch it, you know how sensitive that area is. And yes, Tony, sometimes if I breathe on it, my nuts are sensitive. I ain't gonna lie to you. They're sensitive, okay?
Oh, my God.
We're not going to go any further than that, but I'm just saying, listen, that's a region to my body that, yes, I did wear a cup when I played football. I did wear a cup when I played baseball because I knew that. And I think Claxton and some of these guys should know that. You got to wear a cup. I'm just saying, wear a cup. But anyway.
It still doesn't matter. He should have been ejected.
Yeah. Oh, of course. No, hey, listen, I'm right there with Logan. I'm assuming they're saying the same thing. Yeah, Warriors you're going with?
Yeah, give me the Warriors tonight. I think Jordan Poole he'll be the kind of player that they look at a little bit more than obviously Steph and Clay.
All right, let's move into this recap real quick.
All right.
Lakers and Grizzlies played last night. There was no Ja Morant. The Grizzlies were able to tie it up at 1 apiece now. The final score on that one was 103-93. And I got to be honest with you guys. This is my short blurb on this. Davis went 4 of 14 for 13, 8 and 3. I thought that was just extremely unacceptable on his part. Russell went 2 of 11, 5, 7, and 4. I'm still waiting for Russell to come off the airplane and actually play in the damn game. Mm-hmm. And AR-15, AR nothing at this point. If anything, I'm going to give him AR 0 because he went 12, 5, and 4, very, very pedestrian-like. If anybody played extremely well, it was Tillman from Memphis at 22, 13, and 3. Here's the deal, folks. 13 turnovers by the Lakers to 10 by the Grizz. 3-point line, Memphis just got him on that end at 11 for 36 versus the Lakers 7 of 26. So I said all that to say this. Bro, this Lakers team has zero Mamba mentality. And I'm sick and tired of hearing about this King James bullshit. Okay? If he was really the deal, if he was really better than Jordan, if he was really the number one supreme numero uno, look, it would not be like this. No Ja Morant, and you telling me Michael Jordan would have swept the floor with this team. And now they're losing by 10. I'm just saying, Davis, you suck. LeBron, you suck. And pretty much everybody on the Lakers squad showed how bad they suck.
Hey, Frankie, where you at?
I wish he'd come on this show because Frankie knows damn good well what I'm saying.
I didn't say he's driving, I think, so he might be a little busy.
Gonzo, you're up. I got to go close the floor. Blue opened up the damn refrigerator. Now I got to go close it.
Hey, go ahead, Chris. We'll discuss.
When my dog is hungry, he just says
he just goes for it.
Go ahead.
What happened last night, that game, was one team showed up to play and one didn't. Grizzlies showed up, fired up, wanted to make a statement because everybody basically counted them out because Morant wasn't playing. And it was almost like the Lakers thought they were just going to stroll in there. And since they didn't have Morant and Adams and them, that it was just going to be easy. And Memphis played with a lot more energy than the Lakers did. And by the time the Lakers could start trying to match that energy, they were down so far that they got it close, but then Memphis was able to get that lead back up and hold them off a little bit. So they just didn't show up, and I think it could end up really costing them because you can't give a team a win like that when their best player is gone. And now that team's going to be more confident when he does come back. So I think it was a bad loss, and they didn't show up. They didn't have energy for some reason. I kind of think maybe they thought it was going to be easy because of the injuries that Memphis has.
Yeah. Well, and Chris, what you said, only 2 guys showed up for the Lakers. That was Hachimura, who did in game 1, and obviously LeBron put up double-double. If it wasn't for LeBron and Hachimura, they would have lost by 30. Those are the only 2 guys keeping them in the game, keeping them competitive. Davis, like you said, he just couldn't hit water if he was falling out of a boat.
I love that.
Like you mentioned, man. Russell, he's been rough so far the entire playoffs. He's got to have a bounce back game. It's not like Reeves had a bad game, like you said, 5 for 12, only 12 points. But I mean, it's not like he's going to go out there and score you 30 every night. You know what I mean? So I'm not expecting him to do what he did in game 1 and even some games in later in the season to be kind of what he's expected to be. But it wasn't like he was out there just absolutely stinking up the joint like some other guys. But I mean, I think the Lakers, they just kind of took it easy. I think they maybe came in a little bit unprepared, whether you put that on the players, on the coach, whatever it may be. But like I said, game 3, we don't know if Morant's going to be in there yet. It's not been official. But Jay, a little scared if I'm Memphis. Let me tell you why. You saw what Dylan Brooks said in the post-game presser. He said, I'm not scared of LeBron. He's old. So, Jay, you called out LeBron before. Now let's see if he'll step up in game 3 and put that work on Dylan Brooks like we've seen him do to, much to the Toronto Raptors fans' chagrin for all those seasons. So we'll see if he can do it out west now with Memphis.
And here's Logan, here's the deal with me. Everybody that makes all these LeBron is better than Jordan comments and all these debates about who's better and who's not better. I'm sorry. Jordan Nobody ever said anything like that to Jordan. You know why? Because Jordan beat that ass on the court. He left nothing in doubt. And here's my thing. Nobody is really afraid of MJ or LeBron anymore. They're just not, I don't know if they're ever really afraid of LeBron. I don't know that LeBron has ever commanded the level of respect among his peers in the way that Jordan did. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if Dylan Brooks is telling you, no, he's not just telling you, he's telling the whole world that you're basically old, washed up trash. If you don't come out and blow the ever-living doors off of Memphis, then I don't ever want to hear another damn comment ever again about LeBron being better than Jordan. I don't ever want to hear that. I don't want to hear it because it's just not true. You know what? You know what I'm saying? And even with Kobe had the same mindset. Nobody's saying that shit to Kobe. Kobe gonna wax your ass if you say that. I don't know. That's just I think I get LeBron's physical gifts, but people don't respect him at least they don't respect his game like they respected Kobe's game, like they respected MJ's game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you, man.
He got big shoes to fill. LeBron, I hope you hear me. You got big shoes. You got to come back on that one. You can't just let what Dylan Brooks said slide. You got to make him pay. Like, you got to torture his soul on the court if you want to be in the King James, quote unquote, King James conversation. Otherwise, you're just bitch James. Okay.
Jesus Christ, Jay. What did this man ever do to you? What's our next game? Jesus.
I love it, Jay. I love it.
I'm just saying, look, if a man calls you out in front of the whole world and you don't show up,
last time I remember someone called out LeBron was, I think, Stanley Johnson was his name, and that man ain't been heard of since. That man went all over the world.
And again, I really want LeBron. I want people to understand. I'm not a LeBron hater. I want LeBron to come out and just blow the doors off Dylan Brooks. And I don't like Dylan. Bro, Dylan Brooks had 12 damn points.
I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing out of this man. This man's just been talking just to talk. He ain't walking the walk.
He don't even have a walk. Anyway,
I forget what someone said. What's he done in his career? What's his accolades?
He's not done a damn thing.
He's just kind of there. He's just chilling. He's on a good team. You're muted, by the way, Jay. Jay, you are muted.
You're still muted.
Still can't hear you, buddy. He don't see it. No, he still don't see it. Don't you love technology?
You're muted.
Hey, Jay, we can't hear a word
Jay,
you're saying.
you're muted.
It's my life, huh? I live in
there you go.
Damien says, "Damn, Jay, it's not that I'm pissed off. I'm just saying, look, I'm sick and tired of hearing. Look, you don't know how many debates and how many quorums I've been in through with different people and different networks about this subject matter of who's better, LeBron or M."
And we'll see. We'll get to it. Did he mute himself again, Chris?
Yes.
Oh, like, we'll just let him. We'll let him figure it out.
I can unmute him.
Yeah, you can.
Nope, it won't let me. Never mind, I can't.
Oh boy.
Well, muted, Jay.
We really just fell off.
Yeah, I know, man. My damn cat's fucking me up.
I don't think your cat wants to hear about LeBron.
Bro, I named that cat Alice from Alice in Chains, but really what I should have named that damn cat was son of a bitch. But anyway,
so your father chimes in here, Chris, and I want to get your opinion. This is the man who helped produce you. He's got Jordan number 1, Larry Bird number 2.
Yeah.
Jordan, Bird, Magic, Kobe. That's it. Everyone else is losers, apparently.
The rest
ain't no one else worth nothing.
Now I can't. I'm gonna tell you right now, Tony, and I love you, brother. You know I do. But if you're out there calling Akeem Olajuwon soft, you need to have a little bit more of a
conversation. They're calling Shaq soft.
Bro, we need to have a conversation, okay? Me and you need to have a long, in-depth conversation. But no, look, I've often said, and I think Gonzo, I think me and you, I want to say, had a conversation about this where I felt Bird doesn't get the the recognition that he should get. But I mean, Bird he was amazing. He was all over the place. He was Ray Allen before Ray Allen was Ray Allen. So I do think Bird is extremely underappreciated, and I also think Olajuwon is extremely unappreciated. And again, we can go on this for days. And you know what? I'm gonna put a pin in this conversation, and this will be a topic we're gonna do because we're gonna be off Saturday, but we will be back on Tuesday, and this will be one of the topics we talk about Tuesday. And I'm gonna title it "Unappreciated Players Within the Top 13." And I promise you, Bird will be in that conversation. Olajuwon will be in that conversation. There's going to be a lot of guys in that conversation. So be prepared for that, okay?
I'm ready. What we got next, Jay?
Next up is Heat Bucks. No Hero, right? Broke hand. No Giannis, lower back contusion. Dealing with that still. And yet, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the Bucks took that game pretty well over Miami.
Let me see.
Am I right? I didn't write down the score, but I do.
Yeah.
The Bucks taking that win.
Yeah. Milwaukee won 138-122. So
Dad came in here and he wanted me to let you guys know he wasn't talking about Olajuwon and guys like that. He was talking about the guys that played in today's era.
Okay.
Because I was about to be on the first plane out to have a sit-down conversation with your pops.
Okay. Yeah, but Jay, the Bucks won that one 138-122. So they tied a playoff record apparently. How many they hit? Let me see here.
They hit a lot.
Let me see. So Milwaukee as a squad, they shot 25 of 49 from 3. 51%. Yeah, you better won that game.
Bro, and you know what? Let me just say this. Kudos. Like mass kudos to the Milwaukee Bucks bench. And I want to specifically point out the efforts of Connaughton that went 8 for 12 for 22, 4 and 3. And I want to shout out to Ingles, who went 6 to 7 for 17, 4 and 4. And obviously, like you pointed out, their field goal percentage overall as a team for the Bucks was at 53.5. The game was won at the 3-point line. Miami was 16 of 36, and Milwaukee was 25 of 49. And I will tell you this too: being that they didn't have Giannis, Milwaukee still won the battle in the paint at 52 to 42. So Milwaukee just came out, man. It wasn't just Middleton. It wasn't just Holiday. It wasn't just Lopez. I mean, this was a collective effort between the starters, the bench, and especially not having Giannis there. These guys just stepped up and took the reins in Miami just couldn't deal with it.
Yeah, and it's not even like Miami had a bad game. They shot well. I mean, they shot over 50% as well from field goal. They shot 44% from 3, which on most nights will get you a win. But I think, Jay, like you mentioned, I think just the battle of the rebounds is what got Milwaukee the win. They only rebounded them by 4 in total. Bobby Portis had a great game, had 15. That's a great for him, man. You got to have some of those guys who are going to go in there and get in there, get some rebounds, get a couple of blocks, and he was really a good player for them. And like you mentioned, the bench really helped him out with Ingles and Connaughton. Those were the only 2 guys who really put up any significant amount of points off the bench. But like I said, most nights that's a game Miami wins in terms of just how well they shot also. And but like I said, Milwaukee just a little bit better last night. So congrats to them, and they tied a 3-point record. So we'll see if I don't know. It's going to be hard for them to hit 25 more, but you never know, man. Sometimes when you're hitting like that, it's hard to stop.
And I'm not mad at you, Damian. That's a good list. I probably would have had Kareem in there, I think, over Wilt. But other than that, I'm not mad at that. Tony says I'm old school. Tony, you're 9 years older than me. Leave it alone.
Less than a decade.
Hey, it's like a 5th grader telling a 1st grader I'm old school.
That's back in my day.
God, what a time to be alive. The last game we had was T-Wolves versus the Nuggets.
Oh, brother.
Hey, Denver took it 2-0. Edwards, I got to give it to him. Edwards had a monster game, putting up 41 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Towns, on the other hand, not so much. He looked like dog water in a poo-poo factory. Went 3 for 12, 9-9. And Murray had a hell of a game as well at 40-3-5. Joker went 27, 9-9. And I meant to say, Towns went 3 of 12 for 10, 12-2. I apologize. That game was won in the third quarter by the Wolves. Was brought back by the Wolves, only to be crushed in the fourth by the Nuggets. As you know, the first quarter, Nuggets took it 31-22. Second quarter, 33-27. But that third quarter, T-Wolves put up 40 to the Nuggets 23. And I really thought maybe the T-Wolves were going to take it and come back. But ultimately, the Nuggets went 35 to the Wolves 24. But I want to point out the T-Wolves were 80% shooting in that third quarter. They just ran out of gas in that fourth, man. And ultimately, the Nuggets were just too much. Gonzo?
Yeah, Nuggets got out to a big lead. Minnesota, thanks to Edwards, made a comeback. Actually took the lead there in late in the third quarter. Took a 1-2 point lead, but Denver was just the better team down the stretch. Karl-Anthony Towns he couldn't do anything right. I mean, he had some turnovers that really killed him there in the fourth quarter as well. And Jokic was Jokic, and then you had Jamal Murray step up and have a real big night. So I mean, Denver's looking good right now. That's the series in the West. I think could end up maybe being a sweep. I just don't think Minnesota has enough to enough to where they're not going to wear down late in the game. I think Denver can wear them down and then take it in the fourth quarter. So I think Denver might sweep this series.
Yeah, I'm totally in agreement with you. I feel like that as well. And it's really terrible considering everything that they gave up for Gobert, only for it to just basically be all for naught. And that's a lot to give up. To tell somebody that it's all for naught. If I'm the Kings ownership, if I'm the Wolves ownership, I would probably be, my stomach would be in knots, and I'd probably be nauseous and throwing up in the toilet. Logan, what do you think about this, man? Sweet, not sweet?
Whenever I saw this series on paper, I thought it would be not, super close, but closer. But, oh, man, I mean, I feel like this was a game that if they were going to win it, Minnesota could have won it. Like I said, shout out Anthony Edwards, man. He put up 40 points, 40-plus points. He did all he could, man. He did a great job. Also pretty efficient shooting. Like I said, 14-23, 6-10 from the three-point line. He did his thing, man. He did as much as he could. Like I said, it was really just the foul trouble these guys got in. It was Towns getting 5. It was Gobert also getting 5. I mean, it's hard to win games when you're in foul trouble because you got to play softer in the paint. And
absolutely.
And what's the thing about Minnesota is they've got 2 large giants in the paint. So when guys are attacking the rim, you can't go after them like you would because you get in foul trouble. Like we bring up every time with Gobert, it just hasn't looked. It wasn't like he had an awful game. I get the foul trouble, but in terms of just points, like I said, he got 19, shot 7 of 11, a lot better than what he had in game 1. But like I said, I just don't understand how you're 7 foot and you still can't get double-digit rebounds. He had 8, so he was closer, but it's still a little tough for me, though. As for the Nuggets, like we said, I mean, Murray also, he matched what Edwards did going for 40. Jokic had, I'll say, quote-unquote, a night off. 27-9, and also with how many assists did you get there? 27, 9, and 9. So he had a light night's work for Jokic. So, like I said, good win by Denver, going up 2-0 in the series. And I saw a quote here from Charles Barkley. He's talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves. He said, "I like Mike Conley, who's 102 years old, and I like Anthony Edwards." Kenny Smith said, "That's it." Charles said, "I stopped, didn't I?"
Wow.
That's Sir Charles's thoughts on the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Before we get into hockey, I just wanted to say one last thing. I believe it's 30-28 right now with just a few seconds left in the first quarter. 76ers over the Nets. And lastly, but not least, I just want to say last thing on this. Guys, I don't know what you think, but this Wolves team was 10 times better with the roster that they had versus the roster they have now. Honestly, much better with that old roster. All right, let's go ahead and transition now into the Stanley Cup playoffs. Just a quick recap. Islanders, Hurricanes, Logan, this is your squad, and they are up 2-0 over the New York Islanders. You guys won the other night 4-3. It did go into overtime, so it's not like you had an easy go of it. But when in terms of face-offs, the Islanders had 30, you had 26. But I think where you made your money, and it was in the power play. You guys, the Islanders had 0 power plays. You had 6, and you were able to score on that. And then penalty minutes, obviously the Islanders had 12, and you guys only had 2. But ultimately, very, very, very even game, tough game. And you did go to overtime, and you guys were able to edge them out and still keep that lead at 2-0. My question to you, Logan, so I'm going to start with you first since this is your squad, is do you see a sweep or do you think the Islanders can actually get one game before it's over?
Logan disappeared.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, I'll leave that. So let me ask you that. Let me give you that same question, Chris. Can the Islanders get a game in there or is it just done?
I think the Islanders could get a game in there. I'll be honest, I haven't watched a whole lot of it, but just from seeing highlights and hearing people talk, and like you said, that one game went in overtime, so it's not like it's just an outrageous like mismatch. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they got a game, but I don't see them coming back and winning the series.
Yeah, I don't either. And by the way, I saw Logan's comment in the private chat. It's his bedtime. He's a young working man now, so he had to go get his. I want to say he's probably going to get 8 hours of well rested sleep. So
I was paying attention to the Reds game. I didn't even see he was gone. And then
I was looking at the other guy and saying my thought process. I look over and there's like no Logan. I'm like, well, I guess we'll give it to Gonzo. Hey, quick, Gonzo, man. Yeah, I agree. I think that's going to be a sweep. I think if the Islanders were going to have an opportunity to win a game, it would have been this one. And I just don't think they have enough to overcome Carolina at this point. So I think it's going to be Carolina with hands down on this one. The next game is Frankie's Bruins and the Panthers. They tied it up 1 apiece. And this is the first time, Gonzo, the first time in 10 games that the Bruins have lost. That's how dominant Boston has been this season, as this was the first game in 10 that they've lost. When you look at faceoffs, the Panthers had 41 to Bruins 36. When you look at power plays, it was 3 for the Panthers, 4 for the Bruins. And when you look at the penalty minutes, I really think this is what got the Bruins was you had 60 minutes of penalty versus 32 for the Panthers. So it was almost it was almost double the penalty minutes on the Brewers side. Shots on goal did belong to the Bruins, but that third period was phenomenal. Just to give you an idea, the first period, it was 0-0. Second period, it was 2-2. But that third period, the Panthers got 4 to the Bruins 1, and it wound up being 6-3 for the win. So it was very decisively Florida Panthers that took it over the Bruins, and Montour for the Panthers had 2 goals in the third period. So Montour was definitely the MVP, if you will, of that game. I got to be honest with you, Gonzo, and I see what you think. As good as the Bruins are, I think they take it. I think it's going to go down to the wire. But I think the Panthers win it in the end. But I think this series goes to the wire. But I do think the Bruins hang on and take it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Bruins are going to win the series. It's hard to sweep a team in the playoffs. So and they've been dominant. And hey, you're on a 10-game winning streak. Every streak comes to comes to an end.
Yeah.
So, but I think they'll come back next game, play a good game, and get back to winning. I'd be surprised if they didn't come out fired up next game. So hey, sometimes it can take when you won a bunch in a row, a loss can be a good thing. So can kind of get you refocused a little bit. So, but yeah, I don't see the Panthers pulling the upset and winning the series. I think Bruins are going to advance.
I tell you one thing: if they did pull the upset by some miracle reason, I mean, that would be insane. Given the season that the Bruins have put up,
Dude,
that would be
they pull the upset. I'm gonna get a Panthers hat and mail it to Frankie.
Man, hey, you get the hat, I'll get the jersey, and then we'll request a picture. Let's move on to the third series in this recap. The Minnesota Wild versus Dallas Stars. Now, this is my team here is the Stars.
I was your good luck charm last night.
Bro, I'm telling you were, man. Bro. It's a long story, but just so you guys know, when I was watching this, the Stars were up 4-1 when me and Gonzo started talking. And within, I don't even think it was 3 minutes of me and Gonzo having a conversation, I looked over the screen, cat a corner like, and then it's like 4-3. And I'm like, Gonzo, you got to shut up. I said, you're like bad luck. The more I talk to you, the more my team goes in the toilet. But ultimately, they pulled out the win over the Wild. That final score was 7-3, and they were able to even up the series at 1 apiece. But I will tell you, Gonzo, this series, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a Dallas Stars fan. I'm saying this because I stayed up till 2 a.m. on game 1 that went double overtime for them to squeak it out by 1. And I knew right then and there, but as it was 2 o'clock in the morning and I was hating life, going to bed, I said to myself, man, if Dallas wins this series, they're going to be unstoppable because this series is really, really, really testing everything about them, their manhood in terms of being able to deal with physicality, overcoming obstacles, everything that you could think of. Minnesota Wild has given it to Dallas Stars. It started out in period 1, it was 2-1 Stars, and then period 2, it was 4-2 Stars, and then period 3, it was 1-0 Stars to ultimately give them 7-3. Power play, Minnesota had 5 power plays with 1 goal. Dallas had 6 power plays with 3 goals. Penalty minutes was 52 for Minnesota to 40 with Dallas. I said all that to say this, that Dallas really did control all the major factors of this game in every facet. And and I hope I say this guy's name right, Dadonov, whatever you want to say his name, had 2 goals, so he was a superstar for them. Or no, he had 2 goals. Hintz, I apologize. Hintz was the MVP for the Stars. He had the hat trick at 3 goals and 1 assist. So even though Pavlinsky, whatever how you say the guy's name, is out with a concussion protocol, the other guys stepped up, did their parts, and really, really, really dominated the Minnesota Wild. But I really see this series, Gonzo, go under the wire because these teams are just so evenly matched, and both teams are so equally physical, and both of the goalies are just really, really freaking good. That I see this going the distance, but ultimately I see the Stars coming away with the series win. Gonzo?
Yeah, I agree. Just from what I've seen, like I said, I haven't watched a whole lot of it, but and talking to you, I think the Stars win the series, but I think it's going to go. Is it a 5-game series or a 7-game series?
I believe it's 5.
All right, so yeah, I see it probably going 5 games just because these teams seem like they're pretty evenly matched, and the goalies are going to have to tighten up a little bit.
Right. No, I agree. But I'll tell you, Dallas's goalie, Ottinger, I think is how you say his last name. I hope I'm saying it right. This is why it's hard for me to follow hockey, because half the damn names I can't pronounce. I shit you not, because there's so many European players with Polish, Czech, German, Russian. I can't pronounce half these damn names. But anyway, I really think, like you said, it's going to go to the wire. And I really think that first game was stupid. I mean, like, those dudes couldn't buy a shot, and it was really good on the goalie's effort. So I think these guys, I think both teams have good goalies. Dallas just capitalized more tonight than the Wild did. Moving into the last series of this recap would be LA Kings versus Edmonton Oilers. And again, they tied the series up at 1 apiece. And Edmonton Oilers pulled out the win 4-2 over the Kings. And basically it was Edmonton 2-0 in the first. LA came back with 2-0 in the second. And then in the third period, the Oilers took it out with 2 goals to none. And the ultimate score was 4-2. Again, face-offs, the Oilers had 32-25. Power plays, LA had 4, Edmonton had 1, but in that one power play, they were able to get a goal out of it. Ultimately, I don't watch enough of Edmonton or the Kings to really know how this is going to play out. I know it's 1-1 right now. I do think LA maybe has a little bit better team compared if you watch that first game. So, but again, it's hard for me to predict this one. Gonzo, you might have a better – I'm going to go Kings, but Gonzo, you might have a better perspective on this.
No, I don't. All I've really seen of this series is a little bit of the highlights.
Yeah.
I would say I'll probably agree with you and go with the Kings. But yeah,
again, I think we'll find out more. But I got to watch more of this series. It just seems like every time this series is on, I'm watching other things, and I just haven't been able to really watch it. That's what it is. Tonight on tap for NHL. Let me pull that up super quick. Just kind of give you guys an idea. Excuse me. Again, for the NBA, tonight on tap is 76ers Nets. Just to give you a quick update, 76ers are at 42. Nets are at 36 in the second with 6:13 to go. Then you got the Kings Warriors at 10, and then you got the Suns Clippers at 10:30. For NHL, you're going to have the Lightning and Maple Leafs. Right now, the Maple Leafs are over there, Tampa Bay, 3-0 with 15:33 in the second to go. Rangers Devils. The Devils are up 1-0 over the Rangers with 1:52 in the first to go. And then I think the game I'm really mostly interested in seeing how it turns out would be Seattle Kraken versus Colorado Avalanche. That's at 9:30. For you guys that don't know, this is Seattle Kraken's inaugural season. Am I right? This is the first year, or have the Kraken been out more than 1 year?
I think I was thinking this might be their second year. I'm not 100%.
Yeah, it might, and it might be. Either way, I mean, this is like a very extremely new team to the NHL world, but yet they're hanging with the Avalanche. So, matter of fact, Seattle leads the Avalanche right now 1-0. So you got the Avalanche and Kraken, and then of course at the end of the night at 10 o'clock you have the Jets Golden Knights. I'm gonna make the obvious call. I think Maple Leafs. I think they hold on. And even the series at 1 apiece with Tampa. Do you see that staying the same way? Do you think the Maple Leafs take out the Lightning tonight? Or do you think Lightning battle back?
No, I think Maple Leafs are going to get another win.
I'll tell you right now, like I said, it's 14:37 left to go in the second period. So they're certainly off to a really good start. Again, Devils, Rangers. Rangers currently lead the series 1-0. Devils are up 1-0. I'm gonna go Devils in this one as well. I think Devils even it up. Do you think the Rangers come back, or do you think Devils will stay on top?
I think Devils are going to stay on top. And the Seattle Kraken, this would be their third season. They began playing the 21-22 season.
Wow. I'll tell you what, these guys literally just got on the scene and they're already in the playoffs. How crazy is that?
No, this will be their second year because this will be the 22-23
yeah,
season.
second year. I mean, yeah, either way, the paint hasn't even dried on most of these guys' lockers, and they're in the playoffs. How crazy is that? So that, in matter of fact, that brings us to the Seattle Kraken versus Colorado Avalanche series. Again, the Kraken are up 1-0 over Avalanche. I do think the Avalanche, which are the champions,
I think the Avalanche come back. I think the Avalanche come back as well.
Yeah, I think the Avalanche even that up at 1 apiece. And then the last game is – I don't remember who the Jets are. Do you remember what city is the Jets?
No.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said too. I know Las Vegas is the Golden Knights. Winnipeg. Winnipeg is the Jets.
Yep, Winnipeg. I was looking it up.
I was too. So you got Winnipeg versus the Golden Knights. As a matter of fact, Winnipeg is actually up right now, 1-0. I'm going to go Winnipeg. I think Winnipeg goes again.
I think the Knights are going to come back and tie the series up.
Okay. So there you go. Me and Gonzo have the Avalanche tonight. We both have the Devils. We both have Toronto Maple Leafs. And also where we differ is in the Jets and Golden Knights. I'm taking Winnipeg, and Gonzo is going Las Vegas because, as we all know, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, baby.
Get there. Yes, it's safe. Oh, shit.
All right, man. Hey, Gonzo, we gotta throw down some final thoughts because I know you got some stuff going on over there. What you watching, Gonzo?
Reds and Pirates.
Oh, snap. Are the Reds winning or Pirates winning?
Reds are down 4-1. Reds gave up 4 runs in the first inning, but haven't gave up anything since. We're in the 8th inning, and Reds have no outs and runner on second base. So,
all right now,
get some runs here. But no guy.
Give me some
he basically hit a swinging bunt. He basically hit a swinging bunt, and then the third baseman made a throw in there and threw it out in the right field, so he ended up getting 2 bases out of it. Got the second. But my final thoughts, though, a lot of good sports on. I'm gonna be watching some of the NBA playoffs, and then, like I said, I've been watching the Reds. We started a debut pitcher tonight, gave up 4 runs in the first inning, but then he pitched pretty good after that. But it's hard to dig yourself a 4-run hole starting the game off. Ooh, wild pitch. Now we got a runner on third with no outs. That's what I'm talking about. And hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. I appreciate it. Like, follow Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And join us tomorrow for at 1 o'clock for that afternoon blitz, and then at 3 o'clock for Easy Money and a sports betting show. Like I said, my picks are 217 and 180 on the year. So come join us tomorrow right around 3 o'clock for that.
Absolutely. Again, here at Unscripted, want to wish Logan massive congrats on those future job possibilities and lots and lots of hard work on his part. We certainly appreciate all the work that Logan Landers does here at Unscripted. Just an amazing individual. And we want to tell everybody, make sure you check us out on the following social media platforms. As you can see, all of the names are on there. Check us out, man. Hey, look, Frankie does Twitter. Logan does TikTok. And they do a really good job, man, keeping everybody in the loop on things. And we hope you guys enjoyed the show this evening. Make sure you check us out. Unscripted will be off Saturday. But we will be back on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like Gonzo said, man, check him out on all his stuff over there at GSR. He's got a lot of really good content. Like I said, the guy is killing it in the betting world. Check him out on Easy Money at 3 o'clock. Is it 3 o'clock Eastern, Gonzo, that Easy Money goes down?
Yep.
Yeah, check him out over there at 3 o'clock Eastern. On Easy Money. He will win you some money. And it's your boy Jay saying much love, much appreciation to every one of you guys. Tony, Anthony, Damian, and everybody else that commented, man. Much love, much appreciation. And yeah, man, y'all be good. And we will catch you on Tuesday.